on your down payment.
You sure did. Thank you so much for
And
that.
now that
Thank
you
you
got
so
this
much
on
for the gift.
accident, give me my money back. That was not a gift.
Promise to God. Yes, it was. But it's
no, you
okay.
didn't. Tawanda told me her lender needed to see the money in her account and that she was waiting on a check and she would be giving me my money back. I was reluctant, but I said, okay.
Thank you so much.
You said I will pay you back the next day, and then you listed me as a creditor.
Oh my God!
If it
Thank
was
you
a gift,
so much.
So now it was a gift.
Oh,
So I give away
wow.
$50,000.
It was $50,000.
So Tamar gave me money for my down payment in 2018.
$50,000 was the initial sum. Hard money, not a rumor or a headline. The type that wrecks families or creates dreams. And it was blood against blood this time. The room froze when Tamar Braxton sat there, her voice calm but shaky, and explained that her sister Tawanda had stolen her money and concealed it in bankruptcy documents. The shock sent shivers down your spine. The receipts were clearly visible on paper, filed, stamped, and unquestionable. However, the remaining Braxton sister's silence was a true betrayal. This time, Tamar Braxton wasn't snapping. Something that had been simmering for years was being revealed by her, a wound clothed in sisterhood, a pattern. People had always described her as steady, dramatic, and emotional. However, she added, "You listed me as a creditor after taking those documents out." Every label they had ever applied to her was pierced by her voice. Because she wasn't a drama queen at the time, she was a woman whose own family had defrauded her. It was more than just cash, it was confidence. Wanda required that down payment in order to close on her home, the one Tamar lovingly assisted her with. The one that was meant to be transient. "I'll pay you back in a few days," Tawanda had promised. And Tamar, the kind and optimistic sister, trusted her. What did she discover, though, when the dust settled and the letter began to arrive in the mail? In Wanda Braxton's bankruptcy filing, her name was written in black ink and listed as a creditor, as if she were just another bill that needed to be paid. Just picture that. Your sister is turning your loyalty into paperwork and your generosity into debt. During that episode, Tamar's voice broke due to pain rather than rage. "You promised to reimburse me the next day. Then you filed bankruptcy and listed me," she informed her. Wanda, calm and controlled, simply dismissed it, referring to it as a gift. A present? After giving $50,000, who receives bankruptcy mail months later? Who says, "Thank you so much," while meeting their sister's gaze, only to have her name buried in a list of creditors? It was visible to the audience, the flash in Wanda's eyes, the moment of incredulity on Tamar's face. Toni Braxton, as composed as ever, sat next to them, feigning objectivity as the truth blazed before her. Even Trina attempted to sidestep, stating, "We help each other," her voice faltering beneath the anxiety. However, assistance does not appear to be theft. Assistance doesn't appear to be dishonesty. Subsequently, Tamar's name appeared on the credit card, phone bills, and 6 lines for a period of 4 years. Tamar said that Tawanda had been paying for her family plan with her sister's automobile, without even telling her. With a hesitant giggle, Toni Braxton acknowledged that "I recalled that I was a part of Tawanda's scheme," as though stealing was simply another peculiarity of the Braxton family. But Tamar didn't find it amusing. It was the last attempt. She was at odds over more than just simply money. She was battling for dignity. The world had seen Hammer Braxton as the scapegoat, the passionate one and the noisy one. However, she was the only one speaking the truth at this particular moment. The receipts were truthful. Tamar Braxton was identified as a creditor in Wanda's bankruptcy proceedings. The same Tamar who had claimed, "You included me," from the beginning. The same Tamar that was earlier made fun of online for being excessive. As it turns out, she was correct all along.
Trina was aware. Even their mother, Evelyn Braxton, appeared to be aware. However, rather than standing up for Tamar, they sidestepped the discussion, shifting the topic and acting as though it never happened. There was no calm in such silence. It was wearing perfume while feeling guilty. Additionally, when Tamar attempted to discuss her mental health, anxiety, and despair, people overlooked the extent to which a family may exacerbate these issues. How it feels to have those closest to you treat your suffering with contentment. Your sanity is eroded by every lie you tell on camera and every smirk you have off screen. Nevertheless, she continued to appear. Because of this, the story's impact goes beyond reality TV drama. It's about love masquerading as betrayal. According to Wanda, Braxton mistreated her sister's emotions in addition to her finances. Bankruptcy may have eliminated the debt, but it revealed a larger issue: a family that prioritizes appearances over integrity. Tamar may have finally stopped holding back because of this. Perhaps she knew that the only way she would ever be heard was if she were the loudest, because the truth becomes your only defense when you've been portrayed as a villain for an extended period of time. And tonight, all of their lies were drowned out by Tamar Braxton's truth. The true question, though, is why the sisters remained silent if they were aware all along. Why did you allow everyone to think Tamar was lying? Was it control, jealousy, or just a dread of what would surface if one truth was revealed? Although the internet has already dubbed it the $50,000 betrayal, Tamar believes it goes beyond money. It serves as a reminder that sometimes the most difficult battles don't involve strangers. It is directed for people who have the same last name as you. The stillness that followed Tamar Braxton's departure from the set was louder than any disagreement. Through the agony, you could practically hear her breathing, sluggish, trembling, but uninterrupted, because the world finally saw what she had been saying for years. After all of this, she wasn't insane. She didn't act theatrical. She was correct. Behind every grin and every word we make to support one another, bankruptcy filings, credit card charges, a paper trail, and truthful receipts were all present. The internet went crazy. Hashtags like hashtag 50K betrayal and hashtag Tamar was correct became trends overnight. Fans investigated public documents and froze screenshots of Tawanda Braxton's bankruptcy listing, where Tamar Braxton's name was sad and obvious. It was no longer gossip, it was proof. Nevertheless, the sisters said nothing. The quiet voice, Toni Braxton, stayed far away. On camera, Trina Braxton laughed it off. Their mother, Evelyn Braxton, who instilled loyalty in the gospel and children, remained silent. Perhaps she was unwilling to take a side, or perhaps she had already. A silence is a decision as well. That's why Tamar's anger seemed so warranted. She had been portrayed as the emotional one for years, the sister who could not move on. However, when $50,000 vanishes into bankruptcy court, how do you let go? How do you maintain a grin in the face of that? Particularly when your own blood treats the truth like bad press. Everything fell apart when Tawanda said on air that it was a gift. Tamar's eyes filled with tears, not only with rage, but also with incredulity, because bankruptcy mail does not accompany gifts. Gifts don't become listings for creditors. Sisters also don't tell lies in front of others. People tend to forget how embarrassing it is to be the truth teller in a secretive family. In front of millions of people, Tamar had to justify herself, not only against Tawanda, but also against a public that had been conditioned to have doubts about her. The headline said meltdown each time she sobbed. They referred to it as drama each time she kept her position. But the reality was now at last apparent, corroborated by the very system that Tawanda attempted to use.